we present My Music, a new musical panel game devised by Edward J. Mason and Tony Shryane. And here to introduce the two teams is your chairman, Steve Race.
Thank you. Here we are again, and for the last time, as it happens in the present series. David Franklin and Frank Muir are ranged against Denis Norden and Ian Wallace. And the first round concerns popular classics. For a mark each, the title and the composer. David Franklin. David.
That's a good question, isn't it?
Isn't it, Mark? It's one of those things everybody knows, but hardly anybody seems to know what it's from. Well, I
like it, Mark, I like it.
Yes,
It's got
good.
a good beat, good backing. The B-side has helped to sell it.
I should think the B-side is probably something else from Eugene Onegin.
Ah, yes, well, in that case, it's the mazurka from Eugene Onegin. You don't mind if I use the proper pronunciation?
No, I wouldn't even mind if you used the proper dance. It's not...
If it's not a mazurka...
No, you've had it, I'm afraid, David. It's the polonaise, and I'm delighted to give you no marks at all. It is the polonaise.
Not at all?
Not at all. I checked the pronunciation, and it's Eugene Onegin, said the BBC. And we move on to one for Denis Norden. Slightly doctored by an industrious arranger, but nonetheless...
Yes, it's that thing that goes...
No, that's the bit added by the arranger. Do you know, David?
I don't know, no. I know it like I know the back of Frank's hand, but... I don't know, I honestly...
It must be sort of Hungarian part of the world.
Yes,
Well,
it's a Hungarian.
Try that. It's Hungarian something, yes. That's
It's a
half
Hungarian.
a mark.
It wouldn't be a lullaby. You'd never get the baby to sleep at that lick.
It might be a rhapsody.
It might be a rhapsody, it might be a dance.
Yes, that's better. You got one
Hungarian
mark.
dance, yeah.
Well, you got half a mark, really. That's Hungarian dance number 1 in G minor by Brahms. So half a mark, I think, is generous.
Thank you, Ian.
Ian, here's one for you. Gorgeous stuff, but rather a problem, if you don't happen to know it.
I was wondering whether it wasn't one of those bits of the 1812 overture that comes before it starts to get familiar.
For the tunes.
Yeah.
Now, you were mistaken in wondering that. It's from the Enigma Variations of Elgar. It's part of the
Elgar.
part of the finale. Well, yeah, I'm sorry. No marks there. And title and composer, please, from Frank.
Yes, this is Val's piece. It probably isn't called, but it's known as the Skater's Waltz.
Yes.
By Val Teufel.
Yes, given me both his names. Val Teufel, yes. Skater's Waltz. Do you know it in French, the title?
Val Teufel. Teufel.
No, I mean the tune.
Valse, no.
Les Patineurs.
Of course it is.
Patineurs. See, I thought, never mind, you get your 2 marks for that, all right. Now, a round of general knowledge questions to do with music. David Franklin, a certain opera was first produced around 1690 at a Chelsea boarding school for girls. What was the opera and who composed it?
Well, this was written by Mr. Purcell, who was Master of Music in the Chapels Royal, and the opera was called Dido. And it still is, for that matter.
Would you like to be overly generous with the title? Give me another name as well as Dido.
Oh, yes, Aeneas?
Yes, thank you very much, yes. Henry
That's
Purcell.
is it?
For 2 marks, that's right. Dennis, again for 2 marks. When we mention the opera La Bohème, we usually mean Puccini's work, but another famous composer also wrote an opera called La Bohème. Some people even preferred it to Puccini's. Who was the composer?
Help, Ian.
My friend knows.
He thinks...
But your friend is on the other team, isn't he? Well, ladies and gentlemen of the listening audience, Dennis has held it up on a sheet of paper.
David has held it up.
David has held it up, yes. Dennis.
Paper. I refuse to look. I mean, it matters not whether you win or lose, but how you play the game.
Such an admirable sentiment. I think I might give you a mark
from
for
this
it.
distance.
Wouldn't have been a chap called Wallace by any chance?
No, not him, not he. No, I'll give you a mark, Dennis, for being so honourable and not looking at the sheet.
Well,
when
I
it was held
did
up.
mention that I can't see from this distance.
Actually, what David had written on the sheet was find out for yourself.
I must wear glasses for seeing through, not for looking sexy.
Can we be... Can we be told the historical period of this gentleman?
Yeah, if you like, yes. The opera was written, it was produced in 1897, only a year after Puccini's version.
It wasn't Bizet.
No, let's end this question. It was Leon Cavallo. And that was, in fact, the name that David wrote down on his piece of paper. Ian Wallace, a famous violinist, played at a Dublin concert in 1831, and the audience insisted that he stand on the piano to play so that everyone could see him. Can you please give me his name and the name of the person with whom he was said to be in league?
It's not as messy as if he'd stood on a violin to play the piano.
It's not Paganini.
Yes, it's Paganini. And who was the person with whom he was said to be in league? You could even guess this one, I should have thought.
Paganini being the...
Guess the person.
He was said to be in league with, yes.
Well, who sort of lifted him up, you mean?
No, you don't know. He was said to be in league with the devil, or Satan, or Beelzebub, whatever you like to call him.
And he stood on piano.
Oh, I was thinking of a
Yes, so
real
was I.
person, like his agent.
No, people... That was his agent, actually. That's one mark.
Irish, it must be somebody like O2 or somebody like that.
One of the little people or something, yeah. Frank, while we're on the subject, to whom did a satanic visitor appear in a dream, and what was the name of the piece that resulted?
Paganini's Variation.
No. Frank, you know?
Satanic visitor. Inspector de la Rose, is it?
No, we're on the wrong sort of track, I'm afraid.
Try this one for size.
You and your tartan. Tartan.
I can even read it from here.
Tartini.
David has written Tartini.
Yes.
And you get a mark for that. Now, what was the name of the piece? What was the name of the piece?
The Devil's what?
Devil's Trill.
The Devil's Drill.
Trill!
I think half a mark for the Devil's Drill. Yeah, half a mark there. The other half would have come from saying the Devil's Trill. How are we going, Val? Well, it's not really fair, but David Franklin and Frank Muir lead at the moment by 3 marks. Now for a change, a round of songs strictly for the birds, or rather from the birds. No need for the Latin classification, you'll be glad to know, or even a short summary of the breeding habits. Just the name of the bird, please. David. Well, it's music, isn't it?
Well, last time we did this, were people making signs all over the orchids. They're either being obstructive, or else they're as baffled as I am.
Well, David...
It's a little bird, is
David,
it?
a lady in the audience who gave you a clue for this would be instantly thrown out, I promise you.
I haven't the faintest idea.
It's the robin redbreast. I'm afraid no marks for that. It was the robin. Dennis.
I've just seen your joke.
Joe, he broke his record.
All right, then 1 mark. 1 mark, David, all right.
Give him the bird. You usually have to wait for the repeat.
Flattery will get you somewhere. Denis, a bird for you. Silence, please.
Oh, it's a terrible noise. It's
Do you want me
either
to give you a clue?
dentist drill or trill, or it's a budgery guy who does impressions.
That's very good, actually. What's he giving an impression of? That's the thing we have to
That's
determine.
two more. That's another question. I don't know. I hate bird song.
Shall I give you a clue?
Do, yeah.
Caprimulgus Europeans Europeans.
Ah, well. It's hardly worth saying. It's
The
now,
nightjar,
Next.
isn't it? Nightjar, isn't it?
It's the what?
Nightjar.
The Nightjar by Edgar Allan Poe.
That's not really any marks, but I think your teammate, Ian, is going to have an easy time of it with his. Here's Ian's. There you are.
Has it finished?
Yes, it's over for the night.
Just wiping its beak.
The last time we did this, it sounded very like that, and it was a song thrush. So it can't be a song thrush this time. So perhaps it's a blackbird. No, it's not. It's not a canary doing an imitation of something.
This is a bird giving an impression of Jenny Lind, as a matter of fact.
Oh, it's a nightingale.
Yes, no marks for that.
Oh, I knew it was. Oh, I'm just stringing you along.
Yeah. Well, I gave one to the other side, so I'll give one to you for
That's
that,
very
I think.
fair,
No.
thank
And,
Talk about our feathered enemies.
your turn, Frank. I'm not absolutely sure they got the right bit there.
There's a whole bloody pet shop. I swear there's a cow in there at the beginning. Was there a cow? Is it?
I don't think there's a cow, no, but there's a phrase or idiom I would accept for your 2 marks there.
Is it the dawn chorus?
Yes, it's the dawn chorus for 2. Very good. And now, because we like to hear some music on this programme, some really lovely music, you're going to hear some beautiful singers. 1 mark for the singer's name, 1 for the opera or oratorio, a 3rd mark for the composer. David. The singer, the work, and the composer.
The work and the composer, they're easy enough. It's Oh My Beloved Daddy from Puccini's Gianni Schicchi.
Yes.
Who's singing? It's a bit more difficult. There are a lot of women who sing this. Is it Vicky de Los Angeles?
No.
Striptease.
You, I love your in way of describing her. That's absolutely marvellous. No, it's not Vicky. No, it's,
Vic.
I can't tell you anymore. It's Maria Callas.
I said it, you brushed it aside.
I said I didn't know.
And a chanson for Denis.
L'amour est un oiseau rebelle que nul ne peut apprivoiser. Et c'est bien en vain qu'on l'appelle s'il lui convient de refuser.
I turn hopefully to my navigator.
A name for the musical, not necessarily the song, but the musical.
Carmen.
Yes, the opera.
Bizet.
Yes, the singer is a difficult one, I warn you.
I wouldn't say difficult, actually. I would say impossible. Wait a minute, something's coming through.
Not very confident
we've got
about
the
this.
results. We've just got the results in from Scotland. Conchita Supervia, which means a motorway.
You're absolutely right, you know. It
Well
was.
done,
It was.
Ian.
I mean, you're right about it being. I mean, you're right about it being Conchita Supervia. Yes, the singer. Very good there, Ian. See if you can guess your own. Here it is. Ian, the singer I think you will know there.
The singer, I think, is Kathleen Ferrier,
Yes, for 1 mark.
from The Elijah by Mendelssohn.
Yes, 3 marks. And here's one for Frank.
This makes sense.
Yes, it does, yes.
It's a work by Saint-Saëns.
Yes,
Um,
1 mark.
Samson,
Half a mark.
not to mention Delilah.
Another mark, yes.
And
2 in all. Sung by.
no idea.
Just to give you a hint, American.
It's an American. Colour.
Oh,
Yes.
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 Anderson.
Who, Anderson?
Marion Anderson.
Marion Anderson.
Marion Anderson, yes. I'll give you the 3 marks there, yes. Very good. The following pieces of music are supposed to illustrate, I say supposed, to illustrate certain stories, objects, or events. And they're well known for such. A mark for the title, another for the composer. David. David, do you know what that was and by whom?
I wish I could say it was on the tip of my tongue. It's rather farther back than that. It's obviously 18th century music. Is it Haydn?
Yes, it's Haydn. You've got a mark there. It's not on the tip of your tongue, it's more likely to be on your wrist, I think. No, you don't know, do you?
Oh, wait a
No,
minute.
too late.
Wait a minute.
Too late, David, I think, don't you? We can't... No, too late. It's the clock symphony, hence the tick-tock effect. Denis.
I had a hasty check with Ian. I said, Handel's water music, and he said, yes, and if it's not, you'd better hastily say fireworks. I was going to say far worse than that if it wasn't.
Anyway, you've got your marks there. Ian. Story or event, it said, didn't it, in my
We have
original
a marvellous two-way system here. It's just had to go into reverse for this question. This is ballet music. I'm here to tell you from America. I've got my glasses on now. I'm reading it now. And it's Slaughter on 10th Avenue.
Which avenue?
10th.
Yes. Sorry, I'm just going to get some drama into the show, that's all.
Yes, I had a nasty feeling I'd misread it for...
I thought you were going to say it's laughter on 10th.
No, there isn't an apostrophe between the S and the L. On 10th Avenue, Richard Rogers, On Your Toes.
Oh, really?
On yours. That's the name of the piece.
I can tell from the fact that the show is added that you got that from Denis Norden. He's the only person around here who knows the names of any shows
Oh, yes,
at all.
I got it all from Denis Norden. That's why I had to put my glasses on to read it.
You get 2 marks.
Thank
and
you.
another, again, a story, object, or event. Frank. Now.
Who's been sleeping in my bed? Who's living in my bed? Who's living in my bed? It's 3 Bears. Sweet.
Yes.
Sweet.
By
Coates. Eric Coates.
full... Yes, Eric Coates. You're absolutely right for 2 marks. The famous composer Saint-Saëns, I am assured he is pronounced Saint-Saëns, composed a light-hearted piece called Carnival of the Animals. For 2 marks, please, we want you to identify the animal he had in mind. David.
It's only one hump. It must be a drum.
These were camels. Were they ships of the desert? Oriental?
Hence that roar at the end.
What?
Hence that roar at the end.
Lion.
Camels roaring through their manes.
Oh, really? They weren't camels, they were lions.
the ship of the jungle, it was.
Well, they were camels when I was a boy.
Well, I'm afraid there were lions when Saint-Saëns was an enfant. So, I'm afraid I can't give you any marks there, can I? It's none there. Denis, see how you get on with your animal from the Carnival of Animals.
That budgerigar again. The other one he does. It's cuckoo.
Giving an impression of the cuckoo, yes, that's right. Cuckoo in the wood, that movement's called. 2 marks there. Ian Wallace. Let us wallow in glorious mud. It sounds like one of yours, doesn't
It does, rather. Well, I'm going to stick my trunk out and say it's the elephant.
Yes, you get a bun for that. 2 buns for that. And, Frank, your turn.
It's a cow with hiccups. My clothes.
Well, I am empowered by the composer's title to offer you a number of animals here.
It
He
could
grouped
be-
them together under a sort of generic title.
Could be Sanson's wife, Delilah. Describe it. What? Donkeys. Groups. Well, a herd of donkeys.
You're being too literal. Yes, donkeys gets you 2 marks. He called it personages with long ears. Here's our sing it yourself round. Graham Dally plays the opening bars. Each panellist gets up to 3 marks for carrying on with the words and the music. David Franklin.
Well, da 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 da.
Wrong note.
In the shade of the old apple tree.
Don't help him.
Is that enough?
Yes, I think so. More than. Yes, there weren't many words there. You should have come in with when the voice that I heard like the song of the bird seemed to whisper sweet music to me, but I think it's certainly all right for 3 marks, don't you? And here's a song for Denis. Denis.
Give me, you can join in any time because it sounds much better. What I sigh for, you know you've got the brand of kisses that I... You know you made me dum. Thanks.
3. Oh, yeah.
That's never mind the dawn chorus.
Yeah, the 3 marks which you may share between yourselves, members of the audience, yes. And a song now solo from, we hope, from Ian.
Goes on his knee.
What? On his knees?
Broadcaster, you've got to fill in, you know. Mustn't let a moment's silence pass by. Goes on his knee. He'll come back and marry me, Bonnie Bobby Shafto.
Yes, of course, 3 marks. And Frank.
Sharing each other's sorrows, sharing each other's joys. Comrades when manhood was dawning, faithful whatever betide. And when danger threatened, my darling old comrade was there by my side.
Marvellous, that was. Marvellous. And that's the end of our programme, in which David Franklin and Frank Muir beat Ian Wallace and Denis Norden by half a mark. And that's the end of our series 2. We hope you've enjoyed it as much as we so obviously have done here. Goodbye.
Taking part in My Music were David Franklin, Denis Norden, Frank Muir and Ian Wallace. The chairman was Steve Race. At the Mellotron was Graham Daly. The questions were compiled by Edward J. Mason, and the program, which was recorded, was produced by Tony Shryane.